Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. We're heading into something, well, pretty extraordinary today. We're looking at memory, love, family bonds, the really fundamental stuff.
Yeah, the absolute bedrock of who we are.
Exactly. And the question is, what happens when magic, really powerful magic, tries to just wipe those things away? Can it?
Can something that core truly be erased? Or, does something always remain?
And
Echo, maybe.
that's what we're exploring. Our goal today is to unpack this really unique story, this incredible narrative we've got from a single source.
A very compelling source, I should add.
Absolutely. We're going to pull out the key insights, the emotional heart of it, really give you a shortcut to understand what's going on without getting tangled in, every little detail.
Like an express pass to the core mystery.
Precisely.
Yes.
Think of it as getting right to that aha moment about just how resilient human connection can be, even when facing some seriously powerful magic. So our story kicks off somewhere you might recognize the Ministry of Magic. The source paints this picture. It hums with the ghosts of progress, right? All modern and busy.
Yeah, bureaucratic, efficient, maybe a little sterile on the surface.
But underneath, there are always these whispers, these hints of something deeper, older maybe. And in one specific office, this isn't just metaphorical. There's a real unsettling presence.
Right. It pulls you in immediately, doesn't it? The everyday ministry setting suddenly turning mystical. It's that contrast.
It really is. The source sets up this mundane versus mystical thing right from the start.
And it's subtle. The description of Hermione Granger's office, this bastion of organized chaos, as the source puts it, suddenly succumbing to a different kind of haunting. It's not noisy ghosts, is it?
No, not at all. It's described as, well, a scent.
Yeah.
And warmth.
Exactly. What kind of haunting does that? It feels personal, like a memory trying to physically break through. It makes you lean in, wanting to know what's causing it. Suggests something deep, doesn't it? Something that wants out.
And right at the center of this, this strange disturbance is Hermione Granger, which, let's be honest, the role the source gives her fits like a glove.
Head of the Department for the Regulation and Control of Magical Creatures. Yep, sounds about right.
You can just picture it, can't you? Stacks of parchment, probably meticulously organized, knowing her. Easel registration forms, maybe hippogriff flight paths.
Always in control, always on top of the details. Maybe a bit snowed under, but handling it. Her domain of order.
But now her perfectly ordered office, her fortress of facts, is dealing with something, well, inexplicable. Something that defies her logic.
And that's the hook, isn't it? When someone like Hermione encounters something she can't immediately catalog and explain, the air itself feels different, wrong somehow. It signals this isn't just another ministry headache.
Definitely not. And guess who keeps showing up, making things complicated?
Let me guess. Draco Malfoy.
Bingo. Head of the Department of Magical Law Enforcement's Auror office. He's described as an infuriatingly frequent fixture in her professional life.
Which makes sense, given their departments probably have to liaise constantly. Regulation and enforcement, they'd naturally clash or need to collaborate.
Right. But the source makes it clear, this isn't just professional friction, it's evolved. It's not like their school days anymore.
No, it sounds much more complex, layered. A sort of rivalry, yes, but with something else simmering underneath.
Totally. Their clashes are apparently legendary, but not petty. We're talking sharp and intellectually stimulating debates.
Right, like two high-level minds genuinely locking horns over policy and procedure. Probably quite something to witness.
I bet. But then there's this other layer the source points out, this unspoken attraction, a palpable current under every barbed remark.
Okay. So the professional rivalry is almost a cover, or maybe a channel for something else, that tension you can cut with a knife.
Exactly, where every argument, every glance has this hidden weight, like the intensity of their fights is standing in for something deeper they can't acknowledge.
And this dynamic is just so crucial for what unfolds, isn't it? You have this established conflict, everyone sees the rivalry, but underneath there's this powerful unspoken thing. It's practically begging for something to disrupt it.
Yeah, it's like a perfectly balanced structure, just waiting for a shock to bring it down.
And the source gives us these little glimpses, right? Draco sauntering into her office, that casual lean against the door frame, the familiar, infuriating smirk.
Always the smirk.
Always. He's supposedly there for work, cross-departmental issues, but his eyes linger a moment too long. It's these little details.
It's not just business. It's this intricate dance they do, a performance of wit and annoyance, but fueled by something else entirely. They both know the steps, even if they don't name the dance.
It's the perfect powder keg, really. Professionally necessary interaction, intellectual sparring, and this potent, unacknowledged undercurrent just waiting for a spark.
Then that spark comes on, of all things, a dreary Tuesday, after a meeting.
Not just any meeting, though. A particularly contentious meeting about werewolf rights.
Oof. Yeah, that's guaranteed fireworks between those two, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can imagine Hermione arguing fiercely for rights, for compassion.
Absolutely. Pushing for inclusion, probably citing precedent, detailing magical theory. Ridiculous.
While Draco, from the Aura perspective, is probably focused on, what? Public safety.
Yeah.
Containment. Sticking to the letter of older laws.
Likely risk assessment, control, enforcement. Maybe even wrestling with the legacy of pure-blood attitudes towards beings deemed other. It's a fundamental clash.
So it's no surprise they both come out of that meeting simmering. You can almost feel the leftover anger, the frustration hanging in the air between them. It's familiar territory for them, probably.
Precisely. And the topic itself, werewolf rights, it's not just administrative, is it? It digs deep into prejudice, fear, ethics, what it even means to be human or magical in their world.
Yeah, it's loaded.
Definitely. So this specific fight isn't just about policy points. It's a clash of their core beliefs, maybe even their histories, all amplified by their ministry roles. Perfect storm conditions.
So they're both still fuming. Draco follows Hermione back to her office, kicks the door shut. That sound probably cut through the tension.
It sets the stage. No escape now.
And he just lays into her. Honestly, Granger, sometimes I think you deliberately try to make things difficult. That kind of exasperated accusation.
Implying it's personal, not just professional disagreement, like she enjoys thwarting him.
And she fires right back, doesn't she? With that brilliant line. And I think you deliberately try to simplify complex issues into black and white Malfoy when the world is a kaleidoscope.
Wow. That perfectly sums up their different approaches, doesn't it? Her embracing nuance, complexity, the shades of gray.
Versus his need for clarity, for rules, maybe even a bit of cynical pragmatism. It's not just an argument. It's like their whole philosophy is clashing right there.
And it goes beyond the meeting topic, clearly. It's about how they see the world, how they operate. This is years of sparring coming to a head, razor sharp.
The tension just ramps up. He steps closer, right into her personal space. That power move, his eyes are flashing.
Invading her bubble? Upping the ante physically as well as verbally?
And his voice drops, gets kind of soft but dangerous. And he hits her with, perhaps I just see things for what they are, not what you wish them to be. Or perhaps you just enjoy the fight.
Ouch. That's personal. Questioning her motives, her very character, suggesting she thrives on conflict.
Exactly. It's not about werewolves anymore. It's about them.
Hmm.
This is it. The absolute peak of their usual dynamic. Raw. Electric.
Their eyes lock, the air crackling with unspoken words. You can feel it, can't you? That energy, that unresolved stuff between them, like the usual barriers are just gone.
It's like they're on the edge of something. Not just yelling, but maybe acknowledging what's really going on between them.
Yeah, that suggestion she enjoys the fight. It strips away the professional mask. It hints at this deeper psychological game they've been playing. And the closeness, the locked eyes, the crackling air. It's a precipice.
A point of no return, almost.
And it seems like that combined emotional energy, their conflict and that attraction, just reaches this critical point, and it acts like a trigger. It shows how intense feelings can literally, well, change the world around them in this context.
Because right then, right at that absolute peak, something completely bizarre happens.
The mood just shifts on a dime.
Totally. That old wardrobe in the corner, it starts to hum.
Just hum.
Yeah. A low resonant vibration, the source says. It gets stronger. Almost like a heartbeat, like physically vibrating.
Whoa, okay, that's not normal ministry office equipment.
Not at all. And then this soft golden light starts pulsing from the handle. Warm, sort of inviting, but totally weird.
Pulsing light from a wardrobe handle.
Yep. And Draco, who was seconds away from, I don't know, yelling some more, he's just stunned. He mutters, "What in Merlin's beard?"
Understandable reaction. It completely shatters the moment, pulls them out of their personal drama and into, well, something else entirely.
It's jarring, isn't it? From intense human emotion to sudden, unexplained magic. We're right there with him. Like, what is going on?
And the timing. It cannot be a coincidence, can it? The wardrobe activating right when their emotions are at their absolute highest pitch.
Seems unlikely.
It strongly suggests the wardrobe is tuned into them somehow, responsive to their feelings maybe. Or maybe this intense emotional outburst was the key, the trigger it was waiting for.
Like it needed that specific energy signature.
Possibly. It's as if the magic itself couldn't handle the disconnect anymore. The surface rivalry versus the deep hidden bond. It forces the issue. It shifts the whole focus from their fight to this hidden thing.
Makes you wonder what else in the magical world is just sitting there waiting for the right emotional cue, doesn't it?
It really does. Dormant magic, waiting for a catalyst.
So Hermione, being Hermione, she approaches it. Cautiously, of course. Her brain is probably going a mile a minute trying to figure it out.
Analyzing, observing, formulating hypotheses, even as she walks towards it.
And as she gets closer, that scent from earlier, old parchment and expensive cologne, it gets stronger. But there's something new mixed in.
What is it?
Something sweet, like honeysuckle and old books.
Honeysuckle and old books. That's specific and very evocative for Hermione, the old books part especially. Honeysuckle often symbolizes devotion, affection.
Interesting. So it's this whole sensory experience hitting her, and she reaches out, touches the brass handle, and gets this jolt.
A magical shock.
No, the source is clear, not of magic, but of pure, profound recognition, like flipping a switch deep inside her.
Wow. Recognition, bypassing logic, hitting something much deeper, more primal.
Yeah, and she gets these flashes of images, super quick, a hand intertwining with hers, a soft whisper of always, a flash of green light, and then just darkness.
Whoa. Okay, that's intense. The intertwined hands, the always classic romantic, intimate imagery, but then the green light that usually near.
The killing curse, yeah. Followed by darkness. It's visceral, unsettling, leaves her totally thrown.
That jolt of recognition, it's fascinating. It's like a buried truth forcing its way up. And the sense acting as triggers the familiar cologne, parchment, books, honeysuckle. They create this specific emotional key.
A key to unlock something hidden deep down.
Exactly. It asks that question. How deep does a memory, a bond, have to be to resonate like that, physically and emotionally, even after magic tried to erase it? It suggests the subconscious is fighting back.
And that flash of green light.
Yeah.
Chilling. Hints at trauma, sacrifice, loss, right before the darkness, the forgetting.
A crucial piece of the puzzle, clearly linked to why this forgetting happened.
So, just as Hermione's reeling from all this, the sense, the jolt, the images, Draco shouts her name, Hermione.
Urgent. Scared.
Yeah, sharp, urgent. His face is pale, eyes wide with dawning horror. But he's not looking at the wardrobe anymore.
Where's he looking?
At her left hand.
Her hand. Why?
She looks down, and there, on her ring finger, a ring appears, shimmering into existence.
A ring. Just appears out of nowhere.
Yep. Simple, elegant silver band, but the detail. 2 intertwining serpents, 1 bronze and 1 silver, their eyes tiny emeralds.
Bronze and silver serpents. Okay, wait. Bronze for Gryffindor, silver for Slytherin. Intertwined.
Looks that way. A very powerful symbol suddenly on her hand. And she has no idea how it got there.
Understandably.
She just whispers, "What is this? I don't remember this." It's physical proof of something her mind completely rejects, just materialized out of thin air. It's incredibly jarring.
Absolutely jarring. A tangible object appearing like that, linked to forgotten memories. It's concrete evidence that her reality isn't what she thought. How does magic even do that? Conceal not just memories, but physical objects tied to them.
Suggests a ridiculously powerful spell, right? Something that alters perception of reality itself, not just memory.
And the symbolism of that ring, the bronze and silver serpents, Gryffindor and Slytherin intertwined, it speaks volumes about the nature of the forgotten relationship, a union that defied house loyalties, old rivalries.
A really profound bond, symbolized right there on her hand. And now it's breaking through whatever spell hit it.
It's like the object itself carries the weight of that forgotten unity.
And Draco's reaction. It's a total shift. No more anger, no more surprise even, just pain, deep personal pain.
He knows what it means.
Clearly. He takes this shaky breath, runs a hand through his hair like he's distressed, and he just whispers, "No, you wouldn't. Like, of course you don't remember."
Resignation, like he knew this moment might come, dreaded it even. He's not just watching this unfold, he's part of it. He understands.
Yeah, he walks over to the wardrobe, and the source says he looks at it with unsettling familiarity, like seeing an old friend who only brings back painful memories.
Or a monument to a sacrifice he made.
Could be. He traces the serpent design on the handle, the source notes, gently almost, agonizingly. It's clear he knows this wardrobe intimately. He's been carrying this secret.
Oh, absolutely. That familiar smirk is gone, replaced by horror, then this deep sadness. He's not just a witness. He's been living with the full knowledge while she's been unaware.
The weight of that must have been immense.
Imagine seeing her every day, playing the part of the rival, knowing this colossal secret about your shared past. The psychological toll. It must have been crushing. He holds the key, and it's clearly a painful one.
And then he starts talking. The reveals just tumble out. He tells her what the wardrobe really is. Voice thick with emotion, apparently. This isn't just any wardrobe, Granger. It's a Portkey, a very special one.
Okay, a Portkey. Makes sense, the humming in light, maybe, but sexual.
He explains. We commissioned it after the war, for our anniversary.
Like anniversary.
Yeah. It was meant to take us to our cottage in Cornwall, the one by the sea with the wisteria arch.
Wait, a cottage? By the sea? Wisteria arch, that sounds idyllic, domestic, shared.
It completely shatters the image of them as just rivals, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It paints this picture of a real life together. Anniversaries, a home, a love story.
Wow. That detail about the cottage, the wisteria, it makes the forgotten past so much more tangible, so much more painful. It wasn't just a fling. It was the life they were building.
Which makes the magic that erased it seem even more pervasive. To wipe out not just memories, but the knowledge of a shared home, shared dreams. How do you even function with that void?
You wouldn't know there was a void, presumably. That's the horror of it. Your reality is just rewritten. What subtle clues did they ignore over the years?
Hermione is just reeling, staring at him, at the ring, trying to process. She stammers, "Our anniversary cottage. Malfoy, what are you talking about? We're not."
Denial. Total confusion. Her brain just can't compute this information against everything she thinks she knows.
But Draco confirms it. The source describes this deep, aching sadness on his face, erasing his usual arrogance. And he says, "That's the twist, isn't it, Hermione? We were. For 3 years, we were married."
3 years. Married.
3 years. Married. Gone from her memory.
Good grief. That's staggering. Not a brief affair, not a short-lived thing. 3 years of marriage. A significant chunk of their adult lives.
Wiped clean. It's almost impossible to wrap your head around, isn't it?
Yeah.
Living that, forming that bond, and then nothing.
The scale is just immense. It implies an unbelievably powerful, sophisticated enchantment, not just suppressing memories, but fundamentally altering their perceived reality for years. Terrifyingly effective.
Makes you wonder about everything else. Friends, family. Did no one else know or notice? Or were they somehow included in the spell?
Or sworn to secrecy? Or maybe the spell subtly altered their perceptions too, making the rivalry seem normal. So many questions about the ripple effects. How could such a core part of their identity just be gone? It challenges everything about what makes us who we are.
And then he tells her why.
Yeah.
Why this happened. He talks about the attack.
An attack on them.
He says, "You were targeted by a rogue sect of loyalists, still angry about the war. And crucially, they knew about us. They knew about him."
Him. Okay, hold that thought. So loyalists, post-war bitterness, targeting them specifically because they were together.
Seems so. And to protect you both. Hermione and this mysterious him. Draco says he made a choice. A terrible, necessary choice.
Which was?
The Portkey wardrobe. It wasn't just a Portkey. It was keyed to a memory charm, a powerful experimental one, infused with legilimency.
Experimental, infused with legilimency. Okay, that's way beyond a simple obliviate. Legilimency gets deep into the mind structure.
Exactly. This wasn't just wiping a memory. It sounds like restructuring their minds. The charm would erase our shared history, our love, from both our minds, leaving us as we were before. Just two rivals at the ministry.
From both minds, so he was supposed to forget, too.
Apparently. The goal, you'd be safe, he'd be safe. It wasn't just forgetting, it was a calculated act of sacrifice, a desperate measure to protect someone vulnerable. Chilling.
This connection to the lingering darkness of the war, the loyalists, it adds another layer. This wasn't just about them, it was about protecting against a real ongoing threat.
Yeah, born out of fear.
And that charm, experimental, legilimency infused, that explains why it was so pervasive, so hard to break. It wasn't just removing memories, it was actively rewriting their mental landscape to make the absence of the memory seem normal.
By covering tracks in the mind.
Precisely. Which raises the question of the psychological cost, even if you're unaware. And for Draco, who clearly didn't forget or regained his memory somehow, the burden of knowing, of maintaining that facade, unimaginable. He lived with the ghost of that sacrifice every single day.
Okay, but we have to go back to the him. That word just hangs there.
Yes. Who is him?
Hermione asks the same thing, her mind probably exploding. He. Who is he?
And Draco.
He looks at a ring, then back at her. And the source says a ghost of a tear traced a path down his cheek. The emotion is just raw.
Oh, man.
And he tells her, voice heavy, our son Hermione, Scorpius, he's 9 years old now.
A son. They have a son, 9 years old.
A son she doesn't remember, who's been alive for 9 years while she's had no memory of him.
That's devastating. Where is he? How has this even worked?
He's living with Draco's mother, Narcissa, at Malfoy Manor. And they told him a cover story.
What kind of cover story?
That his father, Draco, was a distant Auror, and his mother, Hermione, was an international researcher too busy to visit often.
Oh, that's heartbreaking. For the child, thinking his parents are just absent, distant, and busy.
All to keep him safe. Draco says, we promise to keep him safe, even from us. It just reframes everything. It's not just lost love, it's a lost family, the price they paid. It wasn't just their memories.
It's the ethical nightmare of it all, isn't it? Forgetting your spouse is one kind of trauma. Forgetting your child and creating this fabricated reality for him. The long-term psychological impact on Scorpius, growing up with that sense of absence, of being secondary to work.
Even if it was a lie meant to protect.
Exactly. What does that do to a child's sense of self-worth, his understanding of family? And for Hermione, the realization that a part of her child, has existed for 9 years entirely outside her consciousness. The sacrifice is just monumental, cutting right to the core of parental bonds, shaping a young life in ways no one could fully predict.
And right at that moment, as this sinks in, the wardrobe pulses again. More urgently this time, the golden light almost blinding.
Like it's responding to this ultimate revelation, the charm finally breaking down completely.
Seems like it. It's not just humming now, it's like a desperate call. And Hermione hears something. Not with her ears, the source says, but deep within her soul.
A voice.
A voice, faint, clear, small and sweet. Coming through the Portkey's magic, cutting through everything. It says, Mummy, are you coming home today? Scorpius misses you and Daddy?
Oh my God. Chills. Chills.
Right, it's not just a plot twist, it's a gut punch. The raw emotion of that, a child's voice calling for a mother who doesn't remember him, breaking through years of powerful magic. It just speaks volumes about that bond.
It suggests that some connections, especially that parent-child bond, are so fundamental, so deeply rooted in, well, the soul maybe, that even legitimacy-infused experimental magic can't fully sever it.
It's stronger than the spell.
It seems so. It begs the question, what is memory? What is identity? Is it just brain chemistry, or is there something more profound, something ethereal that magic can't fully touch?
The source says the shock for Hermione wasn't just the marriage or the spell, but the child she had unknowingly forgotten, a piece of her soul existing without her memory.
A piece of her soul. That's powerful language. It means the echoes in the wardrobe weren't just random magic. They were the desperate, unwavering call of a bond, a love, and a family that magic had tried to erase, but couldn't truly sever.
Love literally breaking through.
Unconditional love, it seems, a force stronger than any enchantment. It's an incredible testament to the endurance of that connection.
Wow, what a story. We've really been through it today, haven't we? Diving into this intense narrative of memory, powerful magic, and just incredible sacrifice.
From a ministry office disturbance to a forgotten marriage, a hidden child, and a love that refused to stay buried, it's been quite the journey.
We saw how an ordinary object, a wardrobe, held the key to this massive secret, this hidden family, and how those bonds, that love, fought back against magic designed to wipe them out completely.
It really challenges how we think about memory, doesn't it? How it defines us, how fragile it can be, but also how resilient certain connections are. We saw the rivalry, the reveal, the sheer cost of that necessary choice.
Think about it for yourself listening to this. What would that feel like? To suddenly find out years of your life, the most important relationships were just gone. And then to have echoes start breaking through, a scent, a ring, a child's voice calling for a mummy you don't remember being.
It makes you appreciate your own history, your own connections, perhaps, and maybe you wonder about the hidden stories, the silent sacrifices others might carry. Our pasts aren't always simple straight lines.
Definitely not. The resilience shown here, both human and magical, is just astounding.
It truly is. It speaks to something fundamental about the spirit.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive, here's something to mull over. If these echoes of love, of family, are strong enough to shatter experimental memory charms, magic meant to be foolproof, what other forgotten truths might be out there, hidden just under the surface of what we think is real?
Maybe waiting not for a grand spell to reveal them, but for the right trigger, a set, an object, a connection to bring them back into the light.
Food for thought. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey today. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning,
And keep diving deep.